Hey everyone, welcome to another client interview. Here I'm with Brad Clark from BLC Promotions. Brad, give us a really quick overview of your agency. Give us a bit of background on what you guys do and how it's been going.
Sure, yeah. So we work with renewable energy installers in the UK. So basically manage their paid ads, and then we now also have the call center side of things as well. So we handle everything for them from actually generating inquiries and then actually qualifying them and getting them booked in as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a quick overview.
Yeah, love that, man. How long have you been doing it for again?
It's been about 2 years now.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been about 2 years since it started.
Yeah, cool. I love that. And so give me a bit of an overview of like what things were like before you joined call center mastery. So remind me, did you have a calling team in place or were you doing the point of setting yourself?
So yeah, so we started offering the appointment setting as a service about 6 months ago now. So for the first couple of months, it was just one person that we kind of had on board doing all the calling. But it was a little bit messy. There wasn't a lot of structure to it, in terms of like speed to the kind of how we track all the numbers, things like that. So it was quite hard to scale it, and that's obviously when I came across call center mastery a couple of months ago. So I've been in it for about 2 months now, gone through the program, and we've now got 5 people working in the call center, and it's just a lot more seamless than it was before.
I love that. And so when things were a bit messy, even with the one setter, what kind of issue did you have any like major issues going on with that kind of setup? Or did it work okay?
It was okay on a small scale, I think, because we only had sort of a few clients that we were offering the service for, so it was fairly straightforward to manage. But as soon as we wanted to add in more staff and more clients to it, that's when it became a little bit of a mess. There was kind of no way to get to the leads within 5 minutes. They kind of got a text notification, but they had to flick between all the sub accounts and go high level and try and find where the lead was. And also as well, there was a lot of admin work. So in terms of like tracking the data, that was all done manually in terms of calls, things like that, which is obviously distracting them from actually calling up leads or yeah, the actual important stuff.
Man, who was the one that actually tracked it? Was it your appointment setter tracking the metrics, or was
Yeah,
it?
so like they would literally just like tally down like how many kind of calls they made, track down all the appointments manually. So it was probably not even accurate data, and it was just kind of
Oh,
distracting
God.
them from what they were doing or what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I hate that, man. I get so many people that like, oh yeah, my metrics are all my metrics are automated. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
how have you done that? And they're like, oh yeah, no,
yeah,
my setter just feels like an end of day report. I'm like, do you
yeah,
think your setter like working 8 hours a day, they're gonna be able to sit there like
yeah,
accurately remember who they've spoken to, or do you think it's at the end of the day they think, oh shit, I've got to fill out that end of day report, and they just put random numbers into it and just hope for the best, right?
yeah,
And even if they're not doing that, like you don't want them. I find it hard myself. Like if I'm speaking to a lead and I'm like got a script up and stuff, and if I'm like doing like some testing or whatever, then I find it quite exhausting even just to like do a good job on the phone, let alone having to remember the numbers and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
It's hard work. It is really hard. Yeah, and how did you remind me how you found out about call center mastery?
So a few other people I know that run an agency kind of mentioned it and kind of how good it was for them.
Okay,
So
cool.
obviously did a little bit of research, kind of jumped to the call with yourself, and it kind of made sense because it solved a lot of the problems that we were having with the call center side of things.
Yeah, cool, man. I love that. And so, and before jumping into call center mastery, obviously, if it's a referral, like it's so much, you're never as worried, right? Because like referrals
Yeah,
are the best type, right? It's so much trust there. But did you have any concerns about call center mastery before you jumped in? Any worries or anything like that?
I think the only concern was about actually implementing it, sort of how long it would take or
Mm.
how big the change would be from what we were currently doing. But no, other than that, I think I was kind of fairly confident in terms of kind of the quality of it. But yeah, it was more just actually getting it implemented and getting it sorted out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I always kind of assume that it's like a financial thing or like a quality thing, like you said. But like sometimes it is just people like, do I have the
Yeah,
time to go through this? Because you've been through it. It's not an overnight thing. You do have to put a few days at least into it and like go through the videos and do a good job, right? You can't just do it in like a in an evening or something. So yeah, that's a very fair. I never thought about that one before. That's actually a good point. Um, and then so now you've been through call center mastery. What were some of your favorite parts of it?
Um, well, I think a kind of a general one is the one that I mentioned, kind of just how easy it is to implement. So all of everything that's in kind of the course is kind of built out on Go High level, which is obviously what we use. So it's kind of super easy to implement, and then also now it's very easy to copy and paste. So whether we're onboarding a new client or a new team member, it's just really easy to do that. They kind of get all of the right training, all of the systems kind of really easy to use. So it's kind of just very easy to scale it. And then also the reporting side of things, kind of more specifically, because we didn't really have a good idea in terms of like our speed to leads, how many dials we were making, appointment booking rate, anything like that. So
Mm.
now it's also really easy to kind of hold people to kind of to standards and say kind of what's happened here. You didn't book this many appointments this week, or it took this long to get to leads. Kind of what is the issue? Because a lot of the time about the numbers, you don't really know there's an issue there. Whereas now we do, and we kind of work with everyone to make sure it's sorted out.
Yeah, it's like wearing it's like putting a different pair of glasses on. It's like
Yeah,
you know roughly what's going on, but then you put like you put some good glasses on. You're like, oh my God, I see everything again now. I can
yeah,
actually. That's the main thing as well. It's just figuring out bottlenecks. Like a lot of people just can't do that without having. If you haven't got the data, you're just going off like what you think or what you
yeah.
feel, and that's never the best way of doing things. And how did you find setting up the reporting? Because like for me, obviously, I feel like it's pretty easy, but with all the formulas and stuff, like again, it's not some overnight quick thing, right? Like, did you find the videos comprehensive enough? Was there any? And I'm genuinely asking you, it's like, did you find any problems with it? Or did it go okay?
No, I think it was so I've not used Looker Studio too much. So I was quite new to it, but I set it up all yeah, completely fine.
Yeah,
And we've made kind of a few tweaks internally. I didn't do that, someone else did it. So they kind of went through the videos as well, and they also found it fairly
good.
straightforward, kind of with the explanation. So yeah, we didn't have any too many issues getting that set up.
Yeah, I love that. And that's the thing as well. Like in the videos, I've done my best to try and teach how it all works rather than just showing step by step, like
Yeah,
blindly follow me. I tried to teach people why it works the way it does. And like you said, you can make your own adjustments, you can make your own changes. Like most people go through the program and they end up building some other new thing or changing it in some way. And every agency is different, right? You can't try and put every agency through one box or like one route because it just doesn't work, I don't think, it's really, really hard.
yeah,
And so now you've been through Consultant Mastery, like how are you finding you said you've got five setters now?
yeah.
How are you finding the management of them? Even like the hire, like all that kind of like running the call center. How are you finding all that now?
It's definitely something that I've got more comfortable with. So I think a lot of the quality assurance stuff in the program about the feedback forms and listening back to calls is all really helpful as well. And in terms of finding people, it's getting a lot easier to kind of know what to look out for, kind of when you've had good setters and you kind of know. I think for me, a big part of it is just their personality, kind of how friendly they are on the phone because a lot of it you can kind of teach, teach them how to use the dialer or how to call leads quickly and use Slack. But I don't think you can really teach kind of having a good personality or being energetic. So yeah, I think kind of the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's good experience. Did you have a call center manager or are you doing it yourself still?
So literally just hired an operations manager, so they help out with a lot of
Nice.
the stuff now. But it's still mostly me who does most of the call center stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, dude. Well, yeah, you will over time, once you like you said, you've got someone now, so eventually you'll start giving them more and more stuff.
Yeah,
But the call center is like such a key part, right? It's you're already aware of this, but like no one ever lets go of the media buying because they're like the media buying is so important for my agency because it's like the core. But it's like they think the call center is just like something they can just hand off to a VA and just be like, oh, there you go.
yeah,
Like you like
yeah,
it's like just as important. It's like the analogy I always use is like McDonald's with like the burger and the fries. Like the fries are still like if the fries are crap, like no one's gonna come to
yeah,
McDonald's. Like the whole thing has to be good. The whole meal has to be good.
yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's over time, like as your operations manager gets better, you'll be able to hand more stuff over to them. But for now, it's still good to stay in touch with it and make sure you know what's going on. Yeah, and so in terms of like recommendations, like if there's someone watching this video and they're thinking, right, I've seen the course at the mastery thing, I'm thinking, it could be good. Anyone's kind of thinking make of diving in, what would you say to them?
I'd say 100% go for it. I think whether you don't even have a call center yet or you've got one, but you kind of want to improve it, kind of whatever stage you're at, there's things in the course to help out. And as I say, it's kind of quite straight. It takes a little bit of time, but it's quite straightforward to implement everything. And kind of once you understand it and you've got it sorted out, it's also quite easy to manage it, hire new clients and hire new staff as well. So yeah, it's something that I'd definitely recommend.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you taking the time and jumping on and just giving me your opinion on how it all went and stuff. Is there anything else you want to throw in there before we jump off? Are you all good?
Um, No, I think that's all good. I think yeah, I've kind of covered
Yeah.
the main points, and yeah, I would genuinely recommend the program to anyone kind of looking to improve their call center.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I have a great day. As usual, jump on the coaching calls if you get stuck or anything, or post in the group. I'll be happy to help, man. And I'll speak to you soon. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, speak to you soon, mate.
Awesome. Cheers, Brad.
Bye.
Bye.